Welcome to another episode of the Parentally Unprepared podcast, episode 67, The Invisible Blowout. Today we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. The beach. We went to the beach with the baby, first time at the ocean. We talk a little bit about how to do a daily rotation of your toys and activities and books for your kids, so maybe they don't get so overwhelmed by the amount of stuff they have, because you will receive a lot of stuff when you become a parent. We're finding that out every single day. We also got the question and what to expect at 15 months old, plus all the other stuff we pepper in there. So be sure to check this out, and please rate, review, subscribe wherever you watch this, listen to this. It's very helpful. ParentlyUnprepared@gmail.com if you want to email us, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at @PUnpreparedPod on Twitter. I said Twitter twice. Testing. Check 1, 2. All right.
Where's the child?
Right here. I'm looking at her.
Okay.
All righty. Let's see. I think I'm going to shave the beard.
What?
I think I need to. I don't know. Maybe just make it shorter.
Yeah, I think that's where we start.
Yeah, sure. You don't think we go like all the way to the skin, just like ripping off a Band-Aid?
Unless you want to scare your kid.
Do you think she's at the age where it would freak her out if I walked in without a beard? You think she would, or you think she'd still be like, da-da?
She really loves you, so I don't know.
What if she loved me more? Like, what if it was like
I'd wonder if she was my child.
Yeah, what if like you greatly change your appearance and then all of a sudden your kid's like, this is way better. And I'm like, well, what was wrong before? I'm so glad you got rid of that. You look like Robinson Crusoe.
What if you greatly change your appearance to something you don't like at all?
Yeah, cornrows.
Oh.
She's like, this is fun.
No.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not.
I am Jeremy.
I'm Krista, and Ty's with me.
Ty. We are Parentally Unprepared. It's been a little while, but welcome to the show. If you want to follow us, it's at @PUnpreparedPod on Twitter. Please rate, review, subscribe to the podcast, wherever you're watching it, listening to it, whatever you do. If you want to keep up with us, you know how to do it.
Yeah. Hey, let me see my camera real quick.
And if you want to...
Oh, sorry.
Get in touch with us via email, parentallyunprepared@gmail.com. Let me see me. There's you.
Come here. Come on, buddy. Come here.
He's not gonna.
He can do it.
That dog doesn't
He was
jump
jumping
up.
like 4 feet in the air today for food.
Yeah, that's food. He doesn't like being in laps. He's not a lap dog.
Pause.
You're like half of the screen of me right now.
Prove him wrong.
He's not here. Here, let me do the full. There you go.
There's both of the idiots.
The doggings.
Okay, sorry. They had to make a little. They were being really sweet.
They are.
Okay, take it away.
Take it away. You don't want to see yourself now?
No, because I just looked down the whole time instead of you.
I just hate myself. It has been a while, but we've been enjoying our summer vacation. Like let's say summer vacation, our summer, I should say.
Yeah.
When it's not blazing hot.
Well, okay. We've been enjoying the summer. We already talked about getting COVID, I think.
Yeah.
Then the baby got a virus. We had
wait, which virus that we got? You gotta make it more specific.
She got a non-specific virus. That's literally how it's described.
Oh, okay.
Online. It's like
well, there was some stuff before, but
the one she's still got a rash from right now. She's getting over is what I'm talking about.
I don't remember if I had food poisoning last time we came on here. I don't think so.
Oh yeah, we were trying to actually be healthy. And Jeremy Totes got food poisoning from it.
From salad bags, from mixed salad bags. Like, oh, here's some salad and some toppings
and some listeria,
and some dressing, and yeah, a little bit of listeria, and you're gonna lose 4 pounds in a day. It worked.
Oh, you got it back though. You're fine.
Temporarily worked.
I
got a couple pounds back. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, we're trying to do everything in our power to live a pseudo-healthy lifestyle that we still enjoy and doesn't require losing our minds. And yeah, it's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Like
losing our minds is pretty succinct, I should say.
Yeah.
But
so we took the baby to the beach for the first. Oh wait, I'm supposed to do the question.
oh, the question.
Is that
Did I do it right?
No, you didn't do it right. You still have not listened.
The question.
All right, I'm gonna repeat 2 previous questions because we have been gone so long.
Okay.
And we need updates on this information.
Update it.
How many teeth does baby have?
16.
14.
14. I
Father
was
of
close.
the year.
I was close.
No, that wasn't a bad guess. Yeah, no, she got all 4 front, all 4 front top, all 4 bottom top. All 4 front top, all 4 front bottom. All 4. I hate that you're looking at the camera like that. All 4 molars and her upper canines came in this past week, and she's miserable.
She's okay.
She's all right.
She's better than last
week.
week.
She's a trooper.
Last week, I think she was most miserable.
She had this unknown virus, and that basically just gave her a fever for a couple of days, and then she was covered in a rash for the last week.
Yeah. It's just this, thankfully, not itchy. Like, thankfully, because it looks like it'd be like super itchy.
Also,
I know. I'd
thankfully
be like,
not contagious because we just did 2 weeks off for COVID.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, and what? There's a couple kids in there that have it, like in the daycare that have it.
Everything we read and what the doctor said was basically it's spit transmissible. So all those toys that they chew on all together in daycare, that's where it came from. So
happens.
Her little bestie friend and one of the other little boys in there that's super sweet, they all 3 had it. But nobody else, thankfully, so far.
So far. So far, so good.
I know where the fingers are getting pointed. We went on a... Anyway, we'll get to our parent date, I'm sure, at some point.
We'll get there.
Can't call it a kid date. It was a parent date.
It was more of a, hey, we're all on the same weird boat together, trying to figure this out. We don't know what we're doing because we're just kids ourselves. Yes. So we did go to the beach to hang out with the grandparents, and it was fun.
It was a good time.
It was a good time, and her first, I guess, reaction to the beach was very much like, I don't know what this is. I don't know why the ground's moving under me. I don't know what to think.
I took a quick little video, and she had like these little pool shoes on, and they were like mesh all the way around, and she didn't like the ground moving under her, and you could tell she was just like, I'm just gonna sit down. And then she sat down and her foot turned, and she just pointed at her foot like, it's in my shoe.
Yeah.
And she's like, and she's holding up her hand because her hand's got sand on it now too. She's like,
It's all stuck to me.
I know. I was like, baby, wipe your hands. And she was just like, she started trying, and she was like, it's not good enough. It was so cute.
It was. She was kind of terrified of the water a little bit. We took her down to the edge of the water.
We eased her into the sand a little more, like before that, but I kind of felt like we rushed her into the water after she just got this like big introduction to sand.
Yeah, it was a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And it was big water, and it was
murky.
It was, well, yeah, there was a good bit of June grass, but a lot of people just call it seaweed. It just looks
kelp.
like it just looks like a lot of just, it wasn't the most fun water to play in. Like we didn't spend very much time out in the water, but it was pretty to sit on the beach, and she got some beach toys, and she got to mess around with the sand a little bit. She liked sitting we set up a little towel for her to sit on, and she sat in front of the chairs we were sitting in, and
her bop got her like sandcastle building toys.
Yeah.
And got her all hooked up and everything.
Multiple size buckets and scoops and all this stuff.
She just sat there and started building stuff. Well, and destroying stuff for the most part. You tried to help her build a few things, and they were just boom, like Godzilla coming through.
Yeah. But I mean, I think
she stabbed a turtle in the heart with a shovel a couple times, if I do recall.
It was a sand. It was sand shaped like a turtle, not an actual turtle. She stabbed a turtle through the heart We're raising them right here.
Listen, turtle soup only gets made one of two ways.
But she enjoyed it. Like there's also in that neighborhood there's like a pond before you get to the ocean, and she was just like hadn't been that close to a pond and stuff like.
There's a railing on the pond, like a metal railing, and as we were leaving one day, she just runs her hand down it and starts going. Crack me up, man.
It was good. It was just. I think for her, it was good to be in like in a different scene, like to see different things, to be in a different house, which was, it was the grandparents' house, but it was terrifying because
the least baby-proof house I've ever been in my life.
Well, and there's no way to baby-proof it.
No,
like there's zero way. You could there's a lot of marble, a lot of tile steps, a lot of just things. So you're just kind of like, whew, you're doing the like
they had a double
hot hands the whole time. You're like, oh no.
They had nothing but tile floor and a double entrance from two different like large access points.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't put a baby gate even if you wanted to. Sunken living room, dining room combo. So that went out to the outside, where is the only place that she ever wants to go.
Yeah.
So she's constantly up and down these two tile stairs.
It's like, I love them.
The entire week. I almost had a heart attack. She did learn to navigate them very well by the end of it, thank goodness. But
yeah, teach your kids the sit and scoot. The old sit and scoot.
I tried to teach her the side step too, where you put your hands and both your feet on the stair and you sidestep it down, and then put your hands down, and then you sidestep it down and you put your hands down. And
she did
tried
that a little bit.
She tried it for a little while, but then she decided she liked the sit and scoot better.
Sit and scoot, but that wasn't without someone being like, there's a step there. There's a step there.
Yeah.
Look, because you'll be holding something. She'll be interested in what's going on in the living room.
And then she decides she can fly. Like, and you're like, no.
There's a step there. And she's like, oh, yeah. She sat down and
and there's none of that like caution tape on somebody's home, you know, on the stairs.
Well, and she wouldn't even know what it is. She'd be like, oh, what's this? I'm going to mess with this while I walk toward the stair.
We saw a little bit of that today, too. And I was just, whew. So that was its own thing, but they also had like a big stairwell that was too big to put a gate on again.
Yeah.
And then our room led out at the very top of the stairs, like the door to the room we were in opened straight. We've never been to this house. My parents recently moved, sort of recently. But we opened the door to the room we're in, and it opens to the top of the stairs, and the damn doors didn't latch, which my stepmom was not aware of. So one good pressure change in the house, and the door just pops open and lets the baby to the top of the stairs. So we never took our eyes off of her the entire time we were there. We both were just like, all right, do you have not one but both of your eyes on the child right now so I can go take a pee?
Right.
Just so I can let down my guard for 4 minutes in the bathroom. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It was, but overall, it was a good time.
Oh, we had a great time.
We did that. We went riding around a little bit. I think one day we went out to eat as a family, just us three.
Oh,
and we also went to went by a brewery that we love to frequent down there.
Yeah.
And she was enamored with the woman that was playing music.
Oh yeah.
She was playing music, had an acoustic guitar, and she was singing really pretty, and the baby was just watching. Like,
what did she say to the lady that was singing? She said something to her. Oh, she said more.
Oh yeah. When she finished her first or second song,
and she goes, Mo.
She wants more. But it was cool. It was.
And she made a little kid friend there too.
Yeah.
We made some parent couple friends ish.
Yeah, there was someone
vacation friends, if you will.
Yeah. There was a gentleman who was stationed down there, I believe, with the Navy.
Yes.
And they were there with their 2-year-old, and they were expecting a second.
I said yes, and now I can't remember. Now I want to say it was Air Force, but I can't remember.
But they were expecting a second.
They were so nice.
They were very nice.
And their daughter she was a COVID baby. So she was born at the beginning of the pandemic instead of our baby.
The middle.
Yeah, our baby who was born in the middle. So she never really gotten to play with a whole bunch of kids, and they're a military family.
Yeah.
So she was just like, let me play with your child, please. She was like, I want to play with other children, please. And she was so sweet. She kept like showing our kid how to do stuff and
Stack blocks.
and holding her hand and helping her walk around and stuff. So it was so sweet. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we went somewhere with your parents. It was another little brewery spot, and there were a lot of kids playing there, and they like surrounded her.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that place.
She was like the star.
It was like the Children of the Corn came to abduct her.
Yeah, it was a bunch of like blonde hair, blue eyed, just surfer looking kids that were.
They were all so cute.
One was like a little bit older than the baby, and then one was like maybe a few years older, but was being really sweet to her. And she was just surrounded. Like it was like, you ever seen paparazzi surround like a celebrity while they're walking? They're like, let us help you. Can we help you? Can we let's go over here. Check out these bubbles. Check out this balloon.
I took a picture and it was like a herd of children. Like it to me, I like likened it more to when there are a bunch of border collies trying to get that one rogue sheep. Yeah. And it was like 6 children just being like, hello, baby, let us show you everything around here.
Look at all this stuff.
It was really cool.
It was really cool.
We got to do a bunch. We were there for like a solid week. So it was
a fun trip.
Jam-packed.
And then we got back. I think the last time we recorded was like the week before that.
I think so, yeah.
And we got back and it was just recovery, because the drive down, it was like a 7-hour drive.
8 because we took some time.
It's supposed to be a 7-hour drive is kind of what I meant, but like it ended up being about 8, and the baby only slept about 25 minutes on the way down, and so each way. Well, she slept a little more on the way back.
Oh, 35.
But it was 25 minutes out of 8 hours on the way down. She's not the biggest fan of riding in cars. Like she just, like that used to be the cure-all for like me, according to my parents, for you, according to, well, wait, did your mom say you liked?
I don't remember any stories about me liking it, but my mom was just telling a story about how they had to get the baby for my cousin and their family to sleep, and she had to go take her driver around the block.
She drove her around for the entire nap.
Oh, was that?
That's what I heard.
Okay, it was my mom telling the story, so
sure.
don't.
Yeah,
I love my mom.
Take it with a grain of salt.
I love my mom.
Right?
She doesn't quite always get everything quite right before she tells you something.
But I lean into my kid. I'm like, you know how much gas is right now? Like we can't be driving you around for your nap times. Let's
She's like, get an electric.
Why don't you just have a seat in your cozy coupe? And I'll just push you around while you fall asleep.
She might do that.
Please.
They should be more inclined to fall asleep in her little Tykes cozy coupe instead of an actual car.
She might.
Yeah.
She gets very relaxed in her cozy coupe.
She loves it. She kick her foot up, put her arm up, just like start cruising.
Oh, she just kicks her feet up. Like it's just the way you're not supposed to ride in a car.
Yeah.
Like with one foot out the window kind of thing. But it was fun, and so we recovered from that, and then you kind of got lambasted with work. So it's been a little while, but we're back. We're here. I mean, we're still doing things, but
my job's affected by weather.
Yeah, and weather's crazy right now.
Yeah. And my whole job's expanded too. Like it used to just be the weather in our actual area that we live was what affected my job, and like maybe occasionally somewhere else if it was really, really bad. And now, like, if there's weather anywhere in the country, I'm screwed. And guess what? There's always weather in the country.
Mm-hmm. You know what I noticed today, and a lot yesterday, but today and kind of leading up to today, like, I feel like more and more, like, you kind of catch whiffs of things now, and you're kind of like, all right, is that a diaper? Is that slobber? Did someone throw up? Like, you're kind of like, you start smelling your wrists and your hands and your shirt.
You caught me doing that.
And your shirt. You're like, what is going on?
That happened yesterday.
Yesterday.
I went to get her from daycare, and I picked her up. I was like, oh, you stink. And I changed her immediately at the daycare, but there was nothing in there besides like a couple of like creases that got missed in her last diaper change.
Mm-hmm.
So I cleaned those up and I was like, you still stink.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out.
It was the invisible blowout.
It was an invisible blowout. No joke. Like there was nothing on her shoes, nothing on her shorts, nothing on her legs, nothing on her shirt, nothing on her hands. I cleaned her hands. Did I say something?
No.
Oh, okay. But like I could not figure it out. I cleaned her hands twice. I changed her another time when we got home. Like could not find a stitch of poop. And me and you both picked her up and like held her with like the baby hold, the toddler hold, where their butts,
their butt on your
their
wrist,
butts on your forearm.
On your forearm, yeah.
Yeah, and by the time each of us let her go, too, our entire forearm smelled like poop.
But there wasn't a mark on her clothes.
Nothing, not a thing. I have no clue what happened to this day. I swear to God,
the invisible blowout.
I think that the daycare teachers are trying to gaslight me on the last week as a joke.
You think so?
I have lost my key card twice. There's 2 places I put it is neither of those places. So either you're gaslighting me, trying to drive me to a nut house so you can get full custody because you love her that much, or the teachers are gaslighting me for a joke. As we enter what's going to be there next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're getting ready to head into a new year. I think we're a little over a week away from open house.
Yeah.
So new teacher, new room, more kids in the rooms.
She's only moving up with 1 kid in her class.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Like she's in a class of 8, right?
But right now she is, yeah.
She's in a class of 8. I think 2 have left.
And they got 2 more.
And then we got 2 new ones that are just basically still really tiny. They're
No, one's moving up with them too still.
Oh, okay.
She's going to be a year in September, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I think there's just more rooms for the next level up because I guess more people put their kids in daycare at the age that our kid's going up to. Maybe. I don't know, but
I don't know.
But it'll be interesting. But
so you're like, ooh, who's got that maternity leave? That European style maternity leave. I'll take some of that.
We're both trying to figure out like what is this teacher going to be like?
Yeah, I haven't met her yet. I've heard her name. I've heard she's wonderful. I think this is gonna be her first year as a lead, which we got that last year. So I guess we're the test group. But she's come over and introduced herself, and she's worked there for a little while. Everybody says she's great. So
she introduced herself to the kid.
The kid, sorry.
Okay, not you. I was like,
no.
I thought you said you didn't meet her.
Listen, it's important for her to introduce herself to the kid too.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, we're excited for her to change it up. I'm sure it's going to be exciting for her because I mean, even the teachers in her current room said, "All right, look, it's been a year almost. They've been playing with the same toys. They've been in the same room. They've seen each other. They're getting bigger, and the room's not that big. The room's for infants.
Well, and they keep shrinking the room too, just to keep the kids from escaping because they keep blocking it off with like all these bookshelves because the kids all are making a break for the door now.
Every time you go in there, they're just like the room's been compressed to a smaller size because the kids are figuring out how to move things, how to crawl around things,
jailbreaking the hell out of everything. Like
they're smart kids, man.
Yeah,
what if our kid's the ringleader? Like, hey, so and so, you know, there's wheels on that. Just push on it.
I think if she's a ringleader, she's a low key ringleader. Like she's the smart kind. She's the sneaky behind the scenes Kaiser Soze type. Like because I always hear about the other kids getting into everything. No one's told me our kid is getting into anything, but everybody keeps telling me how smart she is too. And we know how many words we counted up this weekend with my mother, how many words she can say.
Yeah.
She will be 15 months old tomorrow and she can say over 45 words.
45?
Including names.
Well, yeah. Okay.
And these are words she's repeated, not we were on a parent date today and people were concerned about like developmental like differences in our children that are all the same age. Yeah. So I didn't like advertise it, but I dialed it back a little and fibbed a little lower amongst them. But like my mom and I legit counted out we got to 42, and then we kept adding words that we remembered like the next day or two. And I was like, and then we saw her say 2 more today that I hadn't even thought of over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. So anyway, bring me back to the Kaiser Soze of it all. I think.
How's she a schemer?
So her little friend that she was hanging out with today with the parent group, she is all, everybody tells me she gets into everything. And then there's a little boy that was also sick with the same virus. He is always getting into everything. And then there's another little boy that likes to push everything around and move furniture. We've seen our daughter move some furniture, but I think that she realized that garners too much attention.
Yeah, she can call the shots.
Yeah.
She can sit back and just be like, hey, go check out that cubby over there.
There's a little baby language. What's that Kevin Hart bit where he's like,
Gabba gabba, yo,
Gabba,
gabba gabba gabba. But yeah, man, I wouldn't be surprised either way if she was the one moving some stuff or if she was calling the shots or a little bit of both.
Yeah, probably a little both.
A little ringleader action.
I don't know.
There's always the group, the kid in the group of kids that you ever meet at any age that's like the one that knows a little bit more about what's going on. So they're just kind of like, I know how I could work this to my advantage. There's a reason why gangs have leaders, right? Because there's a smart one that can see the big picture. I could see a couple of those kids being those in the class. Like, honestly, I could. Because they, right now especially, they're sweet-faced.
Oh.
They can, they can just
We were at that brewery today.
They could be like, I don't know.
We had
I don't know.
3 couples and 3 kids. All of us are on our first baby. And we all met up for a beer today. And so apparently the brewery workers, like we were sitting around the corner. So the brewery workers were seeing like one kid at a time. And one of the other kids is a little girl with dark hair too. So they're all the same age. And I go to get a beer and the guy goes, is that the same baby? And it's our baby walking around the corner with you. And I go, oh, there's a few of them. And he goes, that one's real charismatic. I was just like, yeah, that was mine. Thanks.
Yeah, she's waving at everyone.
She was just like running into the building like, hey, double waves all the way.
Or if there was a good jam on, like when I walked around the corner with her the first time, I think it was like Living Color's Cult of Personality was playing. And we walked in there and she just stopped and she just stood there for a second and she starts going, dun, 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 starts dancing to it.
She
starts dancing to it.
She loves to dance. She dances to everything from like Mary Had a Little Lamb to just like I don't know, Purple Rain. It's not a good dancing song. It's the first thing I could come up with.
Once she recognizes it's a song, she figures out like, all right, I can eat. She has 2 moves. She has the bob up and down.
Yes. And
then she has the swing the arms back and forth, like almost like the twist.
Okay, I feel like she's done a different move too, though.
Kind of like the twist.
Those 2 are right. That she does those, but I feel like she's got another one.
Those are her 2 main moves.
Yes, agreed. Oh, she'll grab an ottoman and bounce her like almost like twerk.
She'll twerk. Just don't almost twerk. She is twerking. Okay. As much as you want to deny it, as much as I want to deny it, she's twerking.
I can't even twerk. How's the baby know how to twerk?
Yeah, it's a twerk.
We were at the grandparents' house for the vacation. My brother has the worst taste in music. There's no way around it. I love him dearly. I
Stadium country.
Want the best for him in the world. Love him with all my heart. He has the worst taste in music I've ever heard in my life. And she's sitting there. We're waiting for her to start dancing. And she's like,
Thank God. She's like, I don't know about this.
Oh no,
this sounds too pretentious.
When she doesn't like something, and music included, she goes around and goes, no.
She's like, this is like if my books were a song. My board books were a song. Some of them are better than this.
Yeah, it was a good time. And she surprised me with some of the music she doesn't like really vibe with either, because sometimes she likes some good 80s stuff and sometimes she's like and sometimes she likes like crap from the 20 teens and I'm like, ooh,
I'm trying.
I don't know about that.
I'm trying my best not to like hype myself up as to what she could or couldn't possibly like, because I know as soon as I do, it's going to be the opposite of what I'd be excited for her to like. So I'm just going to be like, oh, here's this, and just kind of present things and not be like, you really like this, don't you? Let's dance to it right now. Cotton Eye Joe or something like that.
I really think you should teach her the Cotton Eye Joe dance. You freaking weirdo.
You sure you want to say frickin'?
It's as close as I got.
But no, we've had fun over the past few weeks, and I'm just glad we were able to get back in here. We were like, we need to get down there because once again, pre-COVID, pre-baby, we're reaching those weeks where all of a sudden the schedule's full for some reason.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we've got something on Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. I don't know what to tell you either.
This week we have something. One of us has something on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah.
That's the first time that's happened since COVID.
It's been a while. It's interesting. And then having a kid in the mix. Now, what is nice, and I noticed today that all the parents are on the same page when it comes to this. As soon as someone starts getting cranky, they're like, oh man, it's kind of time to go. We gotta, it's bedtime, or they're going to turn into a pumpkin, as we like to say, or it's a lovely out.
I love it.
It's a lovely out.
Well, and I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I used to love sitting around in a brewery for 2 or 3 hours and like getting real tipsy and having fun with our friends and taking the dogs out there.
No.
I love just as
home.
much, maybe even more, going for 1 hour and coming home and having the rest of my evening and not having a headache the next day.
Yeah. And the fact is, like, it's just
cheers, by the way.
Cheers. It's not that it's an actual out. There's legitimacy behind it, but it's nice to have. It's a nice legitimacy to have. And while you got it, you should use it.
The out is great, but it's like also this particular instance was nice because we had like-minded people that weren't like, oh, come on, stay. You'll be fine for like 5 more minutes. Like when we were on vacation, that bedtime got blown out of the water every single night.
Did we have one night where we got her in bed on time?
No. We got one night where we got her in bed only an hour late. It was bye-bye routine.
Yeah.
And I know it was a special occasion. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world by any means, but I was sitting there like, this is not enough sleep for this child.
She is, but she still like slept well. I don't think we had a night where we didn't have a night where she got up in the middle of the night.
No, we did not, because we also gave her 4 hours worth of naps during the day.
Yeah.
If she would sleep during the day, we put her in the blackest room ever made and turned that sound machine up as loud as it would go, and we let her sleep for 2 hours at a time, twice a day.
Yeah, I think we learned really quick that it was just like, all right, if she's down for a nap, she's down until she wakes up, because we know most likely we're going to blow bath time and bedtime out of the water, so to speak.
I have my brothers who are like teenagers or early 20s were like, how much does that baby sleep? And I was like, as much as she needs to, damn it.
Yeah.
Like, you will understand one day, as much as she needs to.
As much as you listen to that music, that's how much she sleeps. All right? That's how much she sleeps.
My brother did ask me, he said that my parents were like talking amongst themselves and were saying that they were wondering when we were going to send the baby down there to see them by herself. When we got tired of her finally.
Right.
And I said, I don't know. He said, how old is she going to be when you finally get annoyed with her enough to send her down here on her own? And I said, I don't know. How old are you? And he's 20 to spoil the joke, but
at least he laughed at it, though.
Yeah, he did laugh.
He did. I think it was a good experience overall. I'm trying to think what else. So we did the beach. We did the
aquarium.
The aquarium at the beach, which she loved.
Oh,
She had a great time. She enjoyed watching the dolphins.
Itty bitty aquarium. She did like the dolphins.
Yeah, it was a small aquarium. I mean, very touristy, not like one of the state of the art aquariums, but it's one that we've enjoyed in the past. It's one that we've had plenty of fun at, and they're actually expanding it. And it was kind of just cool to see her see these things for the first time, like in front of her face. All these animals that we've shown her in books, all these things that we're kind of like, no, these things are real.
They're real.
And here they are. Here's a dolphin.
Yeah.
Oh no, here's a sea turtle. Here's a fish. A clownfish.
An otter. They didn't have any this time.
Yeah, the otters were all put away.
Yeah,
So,
I was sad.
It's okay though.
Oh,
She got to hear a sea lion, a sea lion.
yeah, and she got to see the seals.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. I always get them confused. The
And
sea
the
lion
birds.
was barking.
Birds
Oh.
and snakes. She got to touch a
She
snake.
got to touch a snake.
Yeah.
She got to see so many birds, so many cool
Indigo
birds.
snake, I think is what it was, right?
That sounds right.
I think it was an indigo snake.
It was pretty.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch it too. I was trying not to steal the baby's thunder.
Yeah.
I was explaining to one of my
Alligators.
Oh, so many alligators go snap, snap.
Yeah, she understands. When she sees an alligator now, she knows how to bring the hands out and go snap, snap.
She does it like this though.
She claps.
She hasn't
claps.
done vertical yet.
She hasn't done vertical, but
I was
she can just keep being that way. I'm fine with it.
one of my bosses had asked me how our vacation went when we got back, and I was telling him like a couple of things we did, and I said, and it was kind of awesome because I just drag her to whatever I want to do because this is my second childhood too. And he's got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and he was telling me, yeah, that's half the stuff we do is just because I want to do it, not because the kids want to do it.
Right. Sorry, I was having unfreeze. The camera froze for a second. So.
Okay, I was like, your face changed. And
Yeah,
you forgot you're on camera having a good
no.
time.
I'm looking down. I'm trying to figure that out. But that was. Did we go any? Well, we did that. We did the breweries. We did, and we just mostly did the beach.
Yeah.
We took her to one of the neighbors' pools.
Yeah.
And she enjoyed that. She was actually starting to stick her face in the water and
Yup.
blow bubbles, and like she's getting less freaked out about water in the face. Like she still does when she's in the bath, but
She has let me twice now actually wash her hair by dipping her back and pouring the water over her head.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't like it, I will say still, but she's not losing it and thrashing.
Right.
So
Right.
there's improvement, y'all.
It is
Improvement.
wide improvement.
Yeah.
And then since we've been back, it's just been a lot of catching up. It's been really hot and stormy, so we really haven't gotten to go out and do much stuff. We've done some park stuff. We did all the parents' date today. It was
And
like
we got chased off by a storm too.
3 sets of parents, but I mean, it was at like the perfect time.
Yeah.
We were still like 30 minutes past her bedtime at that
Yeah,
point.
I know.
So
It was good timing.
it was good timing. So we've just been trying our best to kind of figure out what's going. We have been trying out some umbrella strollers, so we could
Yes.
save some space because we had one that we borrowed from someone while we were down there at the beach, and we just wanted to save space in the car.
Yeah, I was looking into my future of the next 3 or 4 years of not having a trunk.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Her stroller's awesome, but it's just so
it's giant. Yeah, I mean, and it's awkward. I mean, it collapses and opens pretty easily, but like if you're a woman holding a baby in one arm and a purse and a diaper bag and all that, and you got a one hand that it's I will say that the one that we've replaced it with, I believe, is almost the same weight, but it is so much more compact. It's a little easier to one hand. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I like it. I think it was a good move, but I was talking with some of the other moms about not having cup holders and things like that we will probably be able to comment on a little later down the line.
Right. But yeah, we're just kind of figuring all that out, and just,
we have a toddler now.
Yeah, she's toddling. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness, is she toddling?
She's mouthing.
She is.
She's voicing displeasure sometimes.
She is figuring out she's figuring out likes and dislikes. She's
Mhm.
figuring out
She can nod already.
Yeah.
We were watching Miss Rachel's a YouTube channel. If any parents out there have not
Yeah.
discovered this yet, please, for the love of God, she has saved us so many times now.
She saved us a lot on the road trip.
Yeah, she said, and I mean, we don't just plop her in front of a TV, but on that road trip, there were points where she wasn't having anything else, and Miss Rachel was an instant calm down.
2 hours easy.
Yeah, And then and she doesn't sit still for 2 hours for anything, like no Disney movie, nothing. And then I had to take her to the doctor on Friday unexpectedly for her virus. And they had to take a urine sample to make sure she didn't have like some other like
UTI,
UTI going on. So we had to wait for her to pee, and we were at the doctor with a 1-year-old unexpectedly without any kind of supplies for 2 hours in a room with nothing to do. So Miss Rachel it was. And puffs. I had a whole thing of puffs, and I went down to that many puffs. There's like a little bit.
I wonder how sorry, I got hair in my mouth. That's a thing too.
Yeah. You get double the hair now. You got 2 females in the house.
I know, right? I like the fact that we're very sparing on Mrs. Rachel. We're not like, it's not like every chance we get, we're turning it on. But when we need it, it's kind of like right now, because it always changes. Right now, that's our like ace up our sleeve. That's the thing. It's like, all right, stuff's going off the rails. We got to break out Miss Rachel. And I feel like it's really good.
Well, and at the doctor, I'm just happy I remembered that was an option, because like she was inconsolable for part of it. Yeah. Just tired, not feeling good, got a fever, got a rash, got a diaper rash, like teething, 6 teeth coming in. Poor kid couldn't catch a break that day. And I was like, hugs weren't doing it. Hugs never do it for her, but like she was just like, I don't even know what I want. And anyway, well, I'm like slipping back into that bad mental place. She's like, you can watch me just falling back into history.
You just hear the explosions and the gunfire from the past, and you're just like staring deeper and deeper into the field. But it's been a good few weeks, and I'm glad we're back. We're going to go over a couple things before we get out of here, though. Wanted to do a quick catch up, but not only are we going to talk about 15-month-old development from our friends at What to Expect, we're going to talk about something that I think is going to be very, very interesting to try to implement. And that's daily rotation of activities and toys.
Oh, yeah. I brought this up.
Yeah, you sent this to our chat, and I think that this is a great idea. I think we need it stat. I'm going to be honest. Basically, what it comes down to is, if this is your first kid, even if this is your second or third kid, you know that, and if you don't know this yet, maybe you're a parent to be, you're going to get so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be so many little toys, big toys, books, like all kinds of stuff. And there will be some days where you're kind of like, I don't know what this kid wants to play with. And you can look at them and be like, they don't know what they want to play with.
Yeah.
They'll pick up 2 different things and they'll be like, I don't know what to do with this. So the idea behind this daily rotation of activities for 12 to 18-month-olds, which our kids squarely in the thick of, right, is to take all your toys, take all your books and stuff like that, and kind of maybe not everything, but take some stuff and just make 7 boxes.
Divvy it up.
Do one for Monday, one for Tuesday, and so on, right? And so now Monday you break this box out, and maybe, for them, they're not really perceiving time the same way. They're like, oh my goodness, what is this? I haven't seen this in forever. Or they don't even remember seeing it last week, right? Yeah. Because they were looking at 30, 40 toys.
I just keep glancing at the boxes to be like, do we have all of that?
So the idea is, let's see. Here's what they put in their Monday box. They have like a little art project, like a watercolor type thing. We've got one of those water mats for her.
Which when we bust that thing out, it just starts fights.
Right, because she doesn't want to let go of the little water pins.
Yeah, because she wants to eat them.
Right. They've got like a little toy, like a bead maze kind of thing, a puzzle. So it's like a few toys, a few like almost like art.
Go down. You scroll too much.
I'm going back up. A few toys, a few art things, and then there's also some like puzzle type stuff.
That. Baby socks.
Converted into sensory bags.
Rice, pasta, beans, oats.
Oh, do you not see this one before?
I didn't see that.
It's kind of neat. You're just basically making bean bags out of existing items. Socks. They got a balloon there that's tied off.
I That's neat.
But just stuff that's gonna catch their attention for a little while.
Yeah.
And it's and they have things like let's see, a touch and feel picture card, so like almost like an arts and crafts type thing. Just it's not even arts and crafts. I'm sorry, but what is it? Dexterity and something to kind of work their mind a little bit. Thinking game type stuff. A board book. And there's an emotions activity too.
Okay, I do want to start this, and I saw this on another article that I saw. It was like a calm down corner, and there were emotion like flashcards and things that you could kind of start working with them to recognize the difference between mad and sad and scared and happy and things like that.
Because they understand it, because they make the faces at us.
No, I mean, like, I don't.
When she gets mad, she's like,
I don't know that they understand the difference in that, because I don't think I understood the difference between that until I was like 25. So maybe later. Hell,
maybe.
So I think the emotions activity would be really useful too.
Yeah. And I mean, this is just one day. So there's an emotions activity, and then they've got a breakdown of all the other boxes of the week. I'll put the link for this article, which is, I found it to be pretty helpful, like pretty informative, because I was like, I wouldn't have thought to just limit the amount, like, because she walks into her room where her books are and where some of her toys are. And she's just kind of like, book, and she just starts grabbing books and bringing you books, and she lets you read 2 pages, and now she's grabbing another book.
Yeah, because she's got like one of those 8 cubby bookshelves in her closet, and it's almost completely full.
It's slam full.
Yeah,
like there's so
we
many
got one
books.
cubby left before we're full up.
And then you take her into the living room, which is kind of doubling as a playroom at the moment, and it's just a pile, like just. Where do you start? You have 2 baskets of toys. You have toys that are staged on the TV stand.
We
like
just
everywhere.
added the second basket as a means of like somewhat of an organization. So now I've got toys in one basket and like dolls and animals in another.
Yeah, and then we got puzzles that are stacked up. I mean, but I think this is kind of a cool idea and something for parents to think about, of like, okay, I don't have to allow them access to all that at once, because most likely they're just going to get overwhelmed and either go for the same thing over and over again, or be so overwhelmed that they're not going to be satisfied with any of it.
Yeah. And we see that with her too, like in food choices and everything. Like, yeah, I'm down to implement this. I know I brought it up, and I've been slowly working towards it, but I think it'd be an easy thing to implement pretty quickly. I feel like I've kind of accidentally set it up in the house, where the living room is one, the guest room is another, the porch is one, the dining room is another, her room is another. So we got like 5 little areas where we can go to play each day after school. Yeah,
we kind of are. Yeah, like you said, like one day we'll be like, all right, it's back porch day. She's got a couple of toys she can ride outside. Honestly, when we take her outside, she doesn't even care about riding the toys. She's like, I want to pick up all the leaves that are on the back porch. All the
leaves, please.
So the fall is going to blow her mind.
Yep.
This will be the first fall that she's like sentient and able to walk around and pick things up.
Yep.
Like it's going to blow her mind because there's so many leaves.
And her little twin puppy that we have, our COVID puppy, also is obsessed with leaves. So now the baby has figured out if she picks up a leaf, the dog wants it. She can just go hand the leaf to the dog. The dog takes care of it, and she goes and finds the dog another leaf.
Yeah.
They have a very symbiotic relationship.
It's very odd, and like it wasn't even something that we had to like guide her towards. She was just kind of like,
she started doing.
She just kind of got close and like held it up, and the dog took it. She's like, oh, okay. And
maybe it's their zodiac side. I don't know. They were born like a day apart.
Yeah.
What are they? Tauruses? They're Tauruses. So maybe they just like eat leaves.
So take a look in the description for either the video or the podcast. If you're listening to us on the podcast, I'll have a link down below for this article, because I think it would be very helpful. It made me, reading through it the other day, made me wish that we had done this sooner, because it's such a cool idea.
Well, and we can still do it now. Another thing I liked in this article when I originally read it was that not only does it teach you to kind of break up the toys and like things you have received, but it gives you some very easy craft projects, like those sensory bags, like the emotions masks. They can be done with a Sharpie or a rubber band and not much like artistic ability to give the baby a whole nother thing to play with that really works. You know, like you said, their motor skills, their like,
and you're not buying
skills.
yet another thing.
And you're not buying it another thing, and you have zero problems throwing it away when it's no longer useful, or recycling, or breaking it down to its normal parts and just putting it back to use the way it was supposed to be. Like,
yeah,
that's one thing we've noticed is we have gotten so many duplicates and things that kind of serve the same purpose. Like, it feels very wasteful sometimes to keep buying her things. We think she has a teacher who is expecting, it's not her teacher, but a teacher at her school it's expecting. So we were able to like kind of move some of that stuff to a better home. We've got a women's shelter in town that we're going to be giving some things to too. And
yeah, I was going to say, we're finally reaching that point where like now we're donating some of this stuff. We're like we got so much stuff.
We have so much stuff. And you made the great point too, is all of that being said, admitting every bit of that, you flat out looked at me while we started going through it and we're like, it's going to be really hard to start giving her stuff away. And I completely 1000% agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, putting that stuff in that teacher's car today was hard. She never plays with a thing I put in that car. And I was still like, but it's hers.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard to let go of it. It's the right thing. Like, I don't regret it. But in that moment, you're like, mm-mm.
Yeah, because even if they're not playing with it, you've still got there's not one thing in there that doesn't have some small memory tied to it.
Yep.
Some small memory tied to even the walker or anything like that. Oh, did you send the elephant walker?
I did. Shut.
What?
Yes.
I didn't get the batteries out of it.
I know. I asked you for 2 weeks and I gave up. And I said they get new batteries. Yay.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't mind, but yeah, like we're going through the stuff. You're like, keep or don't or keep or get rid of, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, because my mind immediately goes to like something where I remember that specific, even it could be just as small as her, like me handing it to her and her throwing it and me being like, whoa, it's something like that. I did like the intro to this article, because it kind of put in perspective, like, I think what most parents are going through when it comes to all the stuff that's in their house.
Yeah.
It says, we accumulated so many toys, books, and activities that I thought of a way to organize it in order for us to evenly interact with each one. I saw a similar idea about toy rotation and thought it would be perfect for our needs. Toy rotation is also recommended by Montessori, by a Montessori method to keep a child interested in the activities and not be overwhelmed with choice. I tried to organize each bin with a few books, a sorting activity, and some developmental toys. Scarlett is excited each morning when we get a new bin out, and I get curious myself what's in today's box. So I thought I'd share a look inside each bin, and she proceeds to kind of break apart the Monday bin, but then for those interested, here's a link to all the other bins. All the other bins. What's going on? Oh, it's a little one playing.
Our COVID puppy. Let's play.
So I'll have the link to that down below. I think that'd be stellar to implement.
Yeah.
And it might actually kind of help us with that, like, what do we get rid of?
Yeah.
Because we could really be like, okay, we've got a Monday through Friday or a Monday through Sunday boxes for each thing.
I also think it will help with keeping the house clean.
Yeah.
Like, because everything is at home. We have really limited space. I don't quite know where we're going to store 7 boxes of this stuff in the same place. It's
really what her where her books could be used for, but
yeah, it could.
We need to figure out then where do the books go.
Exactly. So good luck with that. You're on it.
Thanks.
I did already tell you that for both my birthday and Christmas, I want each of those present giving opportunities to go towards the baby gets a playroom.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a big project.
That's on the record now.
It's a giant project.
It's a big, giant project. My mother got enlisted on it too, so all of her gift giving abilities and opportunities are going to that too.
Yeah, it's that's the I
My
feel
plan
like
is to drag the entire family into this.
we're all getting drugged down together. It's gonna be great.
I want to play room.
That's I think that is probably one of the biggest challenges you face once your child's here and you've got them kind of on the right track with with school and a rhythm for sleeping and taking a bath and all that stuff is okay. Now what do we do with all this stuff? Because you get to a point where you're like, all right, I've put these puzzles away a lot, and really only get knocked over one time, and then she moves on to something else.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like she comes and tries to put them back together.
Yeah.
Although she is kind of wrapping her head around putting the blocks and the shapes in the box.
She's starting to fit puzzle pieces in the right way too, I've noticed. So
it's really neat. It's really neat. You can see the wheels turning and stuff like that. Well, we're coming up on an hour, but
yeah.
Do we
been here a long time.
Do we want to go over the 15-month development real quick? Okay, let's do this. This is from What to Expect for a 15-month-old child. The headline is, wow, that cute little bundle of emotions can now express pleasure, playfulness, and as we've become very familiar with, protests.
No.
Yeah.
That's the way she says it.
You want to do this? No. And then you ever notice every now and then she goes, no. And then she realizes what it is. She goes, yeah. It's like, you're pre-knowing me? You don't pre-know me. Think about what you're saying.
She's got so much opinion. I called my mother. I'm not even playing. I called my mother today and told her I loved her and was just like, I'm also sorry for being a teenager at any point.
Yeah. Sorry for all the no's, all the pre-no's.
She's like, oh, thank you. What was that for? It's like, I'm just getting ready.
I'm just trying to put my good karma out there to hopefully get a little bit back.
So sorry.
Let's see here. Your little one is into toddlerhood, and what a difference 3 months have made. Now the baby who once spent hours in your arms has grown into a toddler who probably can't sit still for more than a few seconds. Not only is he often walking or nearly there, but he can likely bend over and pick up an object on the floor, drink independently from a cup, or even clamber up a few stairs on hands and knees.
All right. So the drink independently from a cup thing, she can't do that.
Well, I think they're just talking about a sippy cup. I don't think they're talking about a cup.
I think it's a cup.
Hang on. Let's see what this is linked. What's the link here? When do babies drink from an open cup? Well, I mean, I think this is a development thing. It could be she tries to drink from an open cup, but right now she doesn't know how to stop tilting when the liquid meets her mouth.
Here's when you can make them switch and how to do it.
Okay. Well, we're not ready for that yet. Listen,
we should try.
We're trying to wrap our heads around a lot of stuff right now. Now's a good time to install those baby gates if you haven't already. Dude, those baby gates went up months before she was even here.
Yeah.
We were that paranoid. And
we got dogs.
It's good for the dogs. Here's what else your 15-month-old is up to. At a glance, sleeping basics. Toddlers need about 11 to 14 hours of sleep a day, including naps. At this age, most take 2 daily naps that should generally last around 1 to 2 hours each.
Yeah, should.
Do they?
Thanks, daycare.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate.
Let's see. Feeding basics. Toddlers should eat 3 servings, each of which is about 1 to 2 tablespoons of vegetables a day. So, though they may not always. Some good options include carrots, squash, cauliflower, and sweet potatoes.
Okay, I did make this comment at our date tonight with all the parents, and it got, oh my gosh, that's a good idea, so I'm going to share it. Our baby has gotten much pickier with her food. It's driving me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She really likes mac and cheese now. And that's
boy howdy.
The one thing that we can get a like consensus on. You will eat this.
Yeah.
So I've started shoving rice cauliflower in it.
Rice cauliflower. You mix some broccoli in too.
Yeah, and
anything that can crunch up really fine and not really take away from the flavor of the
or can absorb the cheese. Like just get coated in cheese, and she's fine with it then. Which makes sense. Totally makes sense.
We
Tastes
try
delicious.
mashed taters again.
She likes mashed taters, but they're not exactly like a healthy vegetable I'm trying to push.
Because you could put but I'm just saying if you need to mask things, you could put peas and mashed potatoes go really well together.
She likes peas, no problem though.
Sure.
She'll still eat peas.
Carrots would go good in it.
She is not the biggest carrot fan though. Like I've tried to get her to eat carrots a few times, and again, they have to be covered in cheese.
You know what she really likes?
What?
Blueberry pancake.
Blueberry pancake, and she likes blueberries. She liked grapes for like a week, then she didn't like them. We were talking about this with our parents' friends too, or the food protests are happening too. Where she loves the food one week, and then the next 2 weeks it's bleh. Right out the mouth.
Oh, I said when we were sitting there talking, I was like, no. I don't like rice today. That's Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Tuesdays are rice days. Today is like whatever it is, corn day. I don't know. You're just kind of like, but yesterday.
Today's cake day. Today's cake day. Did you not get the memo? It's cake day.
Yeah, yesterday you were like more, and today you're just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, get off me, man.
Bananas is the one that blows my mind though. Like she's gone up and down on bananas like 4 times, and I'm like, do we like bananas this month or not? Like, am I gonna buy 7 bananas that are gonna go bad this month?
I'm eating like my 5th banana in 3 days, so they don't go bad. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, we've made more banana bread than we can stand to look at. Like, ugh. Anyway.
Did you know around this age, some toddlers start engaging in pretend play, i.e. imaginative games such as stirring a pot to cook or to cook a meal or talking to family members on a play telephone?
She does talk on the play telephone, and she has tea time.
Oh, she is doing tea time with her little tea set. She
pours cups of tea and sips the tea, and she does
Sometimes
cheers.
She pours the tea in her mouth straight from the pot.
Straight from the pot's like spout, and she'll go eat the fake cake from the tea set. It's very cute. Very cute.
It's insane.
I want to get her a play kitchen.
She's got a play set of dishes.
So
we're at a start. I think a play kitchen would be good, but we got a lot.
Play kitchen, play wardrobe, play woodworking set.
She's got all that real stuff though. Like let's let her get a little taller. She'll be fine. She'll need the play stuff. That's a lot. I need to put her swing up too. I keep forgetting about that.
You put her swing up, and she got a picnic table from my parents.
Got to put that together.
When we went to the aquarium,
we took her together tonight. Honestly.
Okay. When we went to the aquarium, we took her into the gift shop.
Sorry, I just saw the time.
Yeah. Took her into the gift shop.
Sorry.
And tried to let her pick out any kind of souvenir she wanted, and she wouldn't pick a thing. She went straight to the picnic tables and would not let them go.
Little people picnic tables.
Like little short picnic tables that were painted blue, and she would just was like, ooh, just this table though. It's great.
She kept coming back to it.
2 different tables, that's all she wanted. She'd be like, and this one too, this was great.
What do you think about this stuffed animal of a dolphin you just saw? And she'd pick it up, she'd hold it, and she'd go over to the table and sit down at the table and then throw the dolphin away and just be like, pat the table.
What about the turtle, booba? what about this starfish? What about this jellyfish? What about this otter?
Yeah.
Nothing. Whale, nothing.
It's weird.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's see. Your toddler can likely walk pretty well, and boy does he get around. Now's the perfect time to encourage your little one to discover the world through his senses with looking, listening, and touching games. So like teddy bears first, soft.
Oh, we do hug the llamas every night.
We do. And gentle. We do gentle.
Gentle.
Let's see. The radio is quiet. The tree outside is big. I was pointing to the trees today. I was like, look how big that tree is. Because we were standing in the front, and then we had the big tree in the backyard. And I was like, look how big that tree is.
We've got a small airport near us, too. So we get to hear a lot of planes. And we always are just like, do you hear the plane? Do you hear the plane?
Yeah.
And there's train tracks. And
she looks around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if your little social butterfly displays some very antisocial behavior these days. He still views playmates as objects rather than people, so it's hard on him to feel empathy when he grabs a toy from another child, or grabs a toy another child wants, or shoves a little friend out of the way, or bites.
Okay, so we haven't talked about biting in a minute because we've been gone for a while, but one, knock on wood, I think the biting is curbing.
Yeah.
And 2, I noticed at our play date today, she wasn't really playing with the kids we got together. Like everybody was kind of doing their own thing. And I made a comment to you though, like, well, they are together all day, every day. Like maybe they're tired of each other. But I think this is probably more likely what it is they don't even like see other babies as
right.
people,
It's just more of a it's more of a this looks familiar.
Yeah.
But maybe it's also a kind of a comfort thing because they were all really
fine.
calm. You know, they weren't acting out.
They weren't anxious about like getting away from each other either. The teacher told me today she grabbed she had a veggie straw and they told her to give one to her playmate that was with us today, and she walked over and gave it right to her. And they were like, "Oh, it's such good sharing." And then they gave her another one, and she walked over and went to give it to her and psyched her. Psych.
Psych.
So I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like her." She does that to me a good bit. What else was I going to tell you though? The antisocial behavior. I don't know.
Think about it. I've got a few more things to read here. Finding a playmate can help foster good social etiquette. Though side-by-side or parallel play will probably dominate the party for a while longer. So that was like you said, they were playing, but they weren't kind of playing together. Yeah. Like there was at one point where me and one of the dads were over there with the two kids, and they were each playing on like a pallet that was out there. And they were both doing the same thing. They weren't doing it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he and I actually were doing this. We like took a turn doing the same thing with him and me. And I was like, I think she just discovered her shape sorter, and she's thinking of this like it's not a wood pallet. It was a rubber pallet.
Yeah, it was like a plastic
pallet with a bunch of cutout shapes in it that grass was growing out of. And I was like, I think she's looking at it like a shape sorter, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still trying to think of what I.
No, that's fine.
But
you can get more details on your child's growth development milestones from your pediatrician at the 15-month well child visit. Does she have one coming up?
Okay, the moms were talking about this too, and I was like, oh yeah, we should probably schedule that. I'm sure we have one scheduled, but I gotta double check that. Yeah. I did remember what I was gonna say.
Okay.
So the biting, I think it might have knock on wood curbed. I walked into the class the other day to pick her up for her dentist appointment because she has too many teeth. And I walked in just in time to have found her having bit a child. And that child was screaming bloody murder and being comforted by the teacher. And our child was in timeout, which is a jumper. She gets separated with a jumper. And I walked over and I stood over her, and she like didn't know I was there. And then she turned around and she saw me and she was like, "Oh, mommy." And I was like, "What'd you do?" Like, I was just real firm. And she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I pointed at the baby that was crying. I was like, "Did you hurt her? Did you bite her?" And she just looked at me like, "Uh-oh." And I said, "You can't bite her. You hurt her." And I just like kind of continued that line of talking to her, like just talking to her like, "You can't do that. We've been over this. That hurt her." Like just real, just straightforward. And she put her hands in her lap and she dropped her head. And she just like looked really, really sad and ashamed for a minute. Like I didn't say at any point like bad baby or anything like that. I was like, "We have talked about this and you can't do that." And she, and I was like, "All right, this is it. This is where we're like," in my head, I'm like, "This is where I'm going to get through to her." And I was like, "We can't do that. It's not nice. It hurts her. You don't like it when you get bit or something like that." And she just like turned in the jumper that spins. She turned away from me and she started crying. And I was like, "Oh." But it was like a fake cry kind of. It was more like a, "Oh, I'm uncomfortable. Like I don't like the situation anymore" kind of cry. And I was like, "Okay, I can't pick you up and like immediately comfort you." But so I kept it going for like about 2 more sentences. And then I was like, "Okay, come here."
Come here, you.
But I haven't gotten a single teacher tell me she's tried again since.
I mean, at some point it starts sinking in, right?
I hope so. I mean, and I was like, obviously not trying to be too harsh. Like the teachers had already gotten on to her.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes she thought it was a game. Like she thought it was funny because she doesn't see it as like hurting.
And to the point where we stopped even saying the word. Sometimes we just spell it out. We're like, "Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
She's trying to BITE, you know.
And we leave off the E and you'd be like, what are you spelling?
It's a horse bit? What are we talking about here? More little moments that may pop up around now. Let's see. A crawling relapse. Not a big deal, but don't be alarmed if she chooses to crawl sometimes after they've already learned how to walk. A tendency to push, pull, or grunt instead of using words when they want something.
Just pushing you away tonight.
I know. Help your toddler's language skills along by responding to nonverbal demands with simultaneous translation. What do you want? Do you want juice? Congratulations if you get an actual response. So like a nod or a no kind of thing.
Yes. No.
Yes. No. All right. Let's see. Here's the growth for the 15-month-old. At this month's well child visit, your pediatrician will once again chart your child's growth on a weight and length chart. Most 15-month boys will weigh between 18.5 and 29 pounds and are usually 29 to 33 inches tall. Girls weigh typically 17 to 27 pounds and measure 28.5 to 32.5 inches. Whether your child is in the 5th percentile or the 95th percentile, chances are
that's where we are.
chances are he's just where he's supposed to be. Sure, toddlers in the lower percentiles are smaller for now than those in the higher percentiles, but your pediatrician is likely more concerned with how your toddler compares to himself. That is how your child continues to grow over time. For example, your toddler has been consistently hovering around the 30th percentile. He may stay in that trajectory into adulthood, but if he's always been in the 60th percentile and all of a sudden drops to the 15th, your pediatrician may want to investigate further. Has your child been sick? Is there a medical cause for the slowdown? Or is he just starting a new, smaller trajectory, starting off on the bigger side? Wondering about your toddler's height? Take it with a grain of salt. Measuring the length of a squirming toddler is an imprecise science. No, your child didn't lose an inch since the last doctor visit. Somewhere along the line, someone took an understandably inaccurate reading. Until your child can stand upright in the upright position and stand still, for that matter, you probably won't be able to count on consistency and accurate results. All right. On the feeding front, by 15 months, your toddler should be completely weaned from the bottle. We've been off the bottle for a little while now, right? Mm-hmm. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, breastfeeding can continue as long as both parent and child are willing and able. That is well in the past.
How do you women do it when they have teeth? That's all I want to know. I'm so curious.
Numb nips. I don't know.
We've got her height chart, which we have to take a new reading on.
Yeah, and it's about that time we're going to try every quarter.
Yeah. So we are 3 months from the last one tomorrow.
We got some cute pictures of her holding the ruler on her head.
Yeah, we're going to take some more too.
It's going to be good.
Yay.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so we need to take another picture of her on her height chart and see what has changed. Because she was in the 95th percentile last time.
Well, look, let's get out. We're making this a little long, but it's been fun. Yeah. It's been nice to catch up with you guys. And I will put that link for the daily rotation of activities and toys in the description of the podcast and in the description of the YouTube video. So whether you're watching us on YouTube or Spotify or just listening to us, there's a way to get to that link, I promise. And until next time, we're going to keep our heads above water, so to speak.
We'll try.
It's been good, though.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yay.
I'm still very happy.
Me too. Hey.
Not miserable
let's keep
whatsoever.
this going up.
Yeah. Let's go.
Going up, going up, going up.
And all you waiters out there, I don't want to hear it.
Stop talking to me, please.
Yeah. Just because you had a bad time doesn't mean I'm going to have a bad time. I'm probably going to eat my words later, but listen, I don't care. I don't care. At @PUnpreparedPod on Twitter, parentallyunprepared@gmail.com if you want to email us. And if you want to rate, review, subscribe to wherever you're listening or watching, that would be much appreciated. Bye.
Bye.